days in a row. It's MOTU Joe, and we are live. We're live in the toy room. I cleared out a whole bunch of stuff, so I can actually be in here for a minute. Normally, there's all sorts of bikes and stuff in here, but we are live. Just Sunday, and we're going to talk about some pre-production art, things that I recently picked up from the John Hollis collection. You've heard me talk about that several different times. I also teased it yesterday. We did get one parcel in the mail yesterday as well since I went live, so we're going to open that and share some fun stuff. That's all going to come up here in just a second. I missed my freaking button again. All right, guys. Unboxing, pre-production artwork coming up right now. Oh, you can still hear it in my throat, but that's okay. We're going to have some fun. We have not one, but several pieces of pre-production Masters of the Universe art in this box. And I teased a little bit yesterday that I was going to be doing this. So in part, excuse me, I'm just getting over the cold still, but I was also going to talk about how, whoa, this is how the collection looks now in the Masters cases. So MOTU cases, they're all protected front down all the way up. It's freaking awesome. It looks great too. It really did change how it looked. And in order for me to do that, I had to take some stuff off the shelves, and that's the first portion of what we're going to dive into. So yes, there's pre-production artwork here, and you can hear the piece that I shared yesterday slide just a little bit, but that's okay. That's going to be one of the parcels that we opened, but we're going to take a look at a lot of the stuff that was up there, which include a lot of animation cells, some pre-production stuff, which there's a couple merch items up there, and one of those pieces is a pretty rare, hard to find Italian, basically like a locker desk set, if you will. There's multiple pieces in here. It's a message board is what it is, but it's interactive. You have a little key, there's a little lock, there's a lot of cool little features with this thing. And this is only made in Italy, as sealed, never been opened. This was one of the items that was kind of tucked in different layers of the shelves back here. As you can see, like that can fit real nicely right there, right? There's more though. There was a lot of stuff up there. A lot of stuff up there, including the Ice Monster animation cell. We've got a pretty nice Stratos cell. There's just a couple little chips on his shoulder, but still really nice Stratos representation there. Ah, forgot about this. Yep. This one, I actually have a double of this, which is not common for me. But the master sheet, if you will, the guide, it gives you all the color codes for what it was. We've got our battle ram here. Pretty freaking cool. BL, back view, front view. And I noticed that it's got the sky sled with the other head on it, right? We have a Princess of Power stock walking scene and a Princess of Power Swiftwind. And for those of you that don't know what I'm doing, I'm smelling to see if there's any vinegar. You can see there's a very, very slight warp, but there's zero vinegar smell on this. A lot of the Princess of Power cells had wiped clean with vinegar, which is great, but it obviously erodes and starts to away the cellulite. That's fat. Yesterday I showed these two pieces. This is a storyboard of an unfilmed scene from the Masters movie, and along with that I also teased a script. So this was Marty's copy, the final storyboard for what was it, the Return of the Griffin. So this is a full-fledged storyboard, all the pictures, all of the scenes in it, photocopy that was done way back then for Marty. Some cool stuff here, not necessarily MOTU related, but still MOTU related in that I shout out to Ren. He did a book of his renderings, right? And these were some of the prints that came with when you supported that program. So, dude, Ren's an amazing artist. Very, 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 very talented. Super awesome, cool, nice dude as well. Like, very, very, very nice, cool. By the way, hi, Ren, if you're watching. Okay, so We have the bike book, which makes sense that I would have this. I think I have 2 of these, but what's cool about this one is, there it is. There it is. What's cool about this one is it's got the original receipt. Look at that. $69.97 back in 84. 127 of 84. 69 bucks, man. 70 bucks for a bicycle. Uh-oh. Focus. It lost focus for a second. For, these Murray bikes, that doesn't seem super, super cheap if you really think about it. But again, I don't know. I haven't price shopped Murray bikes or that style bike. Still pretty cool. You know what? I missed some comments. I apologize. Hey, David, thanks, man. You're running out of room. No kidding. This room is obviously over full. We'll get to that in a second here. Hey, Gary. Yes, every day has been getting a little bit better. Thanks for asking. It's clearing out. So that's why I'm doing this. Get out, do some of this, have some, get the heart rate up, do a little bit. And then, of course, go back at it again. Spartacus, what's up, bud? The struggle for space is yes, it is very, very, very real, David. Very real. So I just did the number. I was curious because I know I have quite a few totes. So I do have some on-premise off-site storage, if that makes sense. There are 59 totes in storage of just my collection, like stuff that's He-Man related. There's a tote of G.I. Joe and like a couple, there's probably 10 totes, 15 totes of Dragon Ball Z. The rest is MOTU. And then I still have, there's a lot. I am way, 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 way out of space. But we're making do because there is a vision. I'm running towards something. It's not like I'm not there yet. I haven't come to a point where I know I can't hit it. I know I can hit it, so I'm still running towards it, and someday it'll manifest. That's the plan. That's the plan. Let's see here. Action figure Phil. Yeah, back then it was high for a bike. That was kind of high, right? 69 seemed kind of high for a bike, but that's what it was. It's crazy. So some more art. This is from the collaboration where MFA Collectibles partnered with Mark and Rebecca to do their tower, and this is Ken Coleman's art. You got this proof. Unfortunately, mine did get a hole in shipping. The box got a hole in it, and this is the thing that got dinged. Everything else was fine, but this got a little marred. But this is a proof that you got, or a print when you bought the Mark Taylor Gray Skull, which freaking phenomenal. Okay, so we're getting into some more pretty freaking, this one's pretty cool. I believe this is the only signed piece that I have with Lou's signature on it. So I do have a He-Man cell with Lou Scheimer's autograph. And on the back of this, and again, whenever I start seeing this warp, you can see how the plastic, now that's the plastic, not the cell. But I always take a whiff, because if there's any vinegar, those fumes can even start to damage the cell. So if there's that odor, I try to keep them separate, or plastic on plastic, so there's a barrier there, not letting it get in there. Oh man, there's a lot of pencils down here. I didn't realize that. So we have a pencil, She-Ra. We've got a Battle Cat pencil. Again, these are some of these are different. Like, I don't remember why I snagged some of these. Some of them may have just been part of a lot that I picked up. Oh, there's some other ones. All right, this is Panther. And so these are some pretty cool ones. These are the Rotocast pencils. So I'll show you a few of these. These are basically when they had humans walk to get the opening sequence. So this is a real human. I do forget his name. I know some collectors out there will help fill in the gaps, but that's the real person that was walking, so that way they got the sequence of how he was supposed to walk coming in there. So they're it's called rotoscope and rotocasting. I said rotocast, I meant rotoscope. I said that completely wrong. Rotocasting is the type of, anyway, you get what I mean. So this is the close-up, right? Like when it's walking up to the scene, here comes the chest, and they were trying to get, you know, each individual scene down so that way they knew. Here is Tila with the actress. Okay, sorry, another He-Man walking across the screen. These pencils are hard to see sometimes, so I apologize. Let's try it this way. So there's a little bit better of the pencil. He-Man walking. This one is cool because it's a very good sketch of the actress who was playing Tila to get the stop motion, the motion capture, if you will. And what's cool is this one actually even has the laugh. So you can actually see the head laugh like they did in the cartoon. So there it is. It's right there. And here is one cell of Panther. So all of these things are kind of layered up in different areas that I've had here because these shelves are their space. So to take them and I put them in there. Here's a good one. Those that have watched Revolution, this is a pretty fitting and kind of a powerful cell. And if you look at Revolution and how it's come back to where it's at, and that, you know, this is a young a young King Randor with a freshly crashed Marlena. So this is the future. This is pretty freaking awesome. Oh, here's a good Stratos. These ones have obviously been matted, so that way they're easy to install into a frame. And these also do have certificates, COAs on the back. There's a lot in here, guys. There's a lot. We're just dwindling down this, and we're still going to get into the pre-production stuff. So this whole big box has still got the pre-production. Oh, yeah. So this is a cool cell. So a lot of times, so this is an actual folder, MOTU stock, okay? But what they did, for example, this is an action set, an action scene. So here's Wing Raider, you know, flying type of a sequence away. This would be an away shot, like it's flying away from you. It is layered. And you can see that oftentimes they would paint the effect actually on the front, not the back. So the back of the cell, I'm sorry, it's off camera. The back of the cell is what we're used to seeing, and that's what gives us the paint. So they're painting it reverse. But on effects, when they're trying to create that effect, they actually would paint on the top of the cell. So in order to protect that effect from getting messed up, they would put another layer of cell over it. So there's nothing on this cell, but that's there to protect the jets, the flames shooting out the bottom. Pretty cool. It's the only piece I have like that, and it was a cool education. I did not know that. Didn't know it, right? Oh, missed a whole bunch of comments. I'm sorry. Let me scroll back up here. Oh, yeah, it was high for bike. Sorry. Yep, I got that one. I actually have figures hanging from my ceiling. I do as well. They're not hanging so much as they're mounted. Oh, Spartacus. It's about 200. It's about 200 in today's US dollar. Ooh, okay. All right. Spartacus with the quick math on economics there, Ann. $70, about $200 today. All right. Oh, electric emphasis. Those cells are clean. Awesome to see cartoon history. Thank you. Yeah, there's cells really did boom about 5-10 years ago. It seemed like everyone was trying to get them. Obviously, there was a smaller boom before that, more quiet. And as the internet grew and more people got into this, it really was a surge of cells. It's cool that you have a history in the way they used to do the cartoons. I used to love Saturday morning cartoons. I love them as well. I love them so much that I started to do a Saturday morning serial with Retro Rags years ago. And I actually did 100 episodes where every Saturday morning I got up, had a bowl of cereal at 9 a.m. We would watch a cartoon together live. Obviously, there was rights and challenges and certain things that could come up with that because you're streaming content that may not necessarily be yours. And so it was a fun time. It was a little more Wild West back then, and it was fun. I truly did enjoy that, but it was a hell of a commitment every Saturday morning for nearly 100 weeks. Very few weeks that I miss in there straight. So it was a big commitment. Wind Raider! You got it, Sean. And by the way, you know one of those Toy Explosions things are for you, buddy. I picked up 2, specifically one for you. So it's on it's here for you, bud. Exactly. The line are on the front, the point is on the back. Yes, yes. I remember those. Good stuff, fellas. Good stuff. But there's still more. So this one I'm pretty sure is a vinegar, even with the cold. Yep. This one is a double bagged. So this one I know I kept, and that's why I kept the pencil on the back. So there's another rotoscope on the back here of Tila, but this is a Shadow Weaver. This one, this particular cell, I know was used vinegar to keep clean because you can smell it very faint, but it is in there. And that's why I keep a paper with it, and it's also double bagged. How about a pretty unique one? This one's different. This one is from the Lost commercial. Yes, the crazy animation that was sold to kids and the studio to like, we're going to do this. Let's make this a reality. This is how Battle Cat kind of looked. He was a much more, the art was different. Let's just be very frank. It was different. And then these cells are labeled with an MC, which it's hard to see on this one because there's a mat over it. But on the back, the end sequence where Skeletor flies away, this is one of those scenes. And the MC identifies it as a commercial. MC MOTU Masters commercial. And there obviously are cells for the whole thing. There's a Mattel logo at the end. I'm trying to get my hands on one of those sequences. I was fortunate enough to get, I have, I believe, a cell of the spear, Man-at-Arms, Tila, He-Man. I've got He-Man with the shield and with the sword and with the axe. I've got the end sequence there. I've got a scene where Man-at-Arms is on a sky sled. What's missing, and I've asked a lot of different people about this, is to the best of our knowledge, and this is a question posed to all of you as well, in that Lost commercial, you see Beastman and Merman, their backs are kind of side to side rubbing henchmen, right? To the best of my knowledge, and most people that I've asked, no one has found those cells or acquired those cells yet. So if somebody's trying to get every character and appearance in there, that could be a challenge. Now, again, I'm open to be corrected. I'm not saying that this is ardent set in stone, but I'm not familiar with them. The people I've talked to have not come across them. And if they think they may have, they have no idea where they're at because no one seems to know anymore. So for me, Merman, getting Beastman, and that Mattel logo at the end, whether it's all the way small or really big, those are the ones I'm trying to get from the Lost commercial to fill in some gaps. This isn't MOTU, but still fun to share. Opposite Attract. I don't know why. I found it in the lot one day and I was like, yep, we're gonna get that. Okay, there's a lot. Like I said, there's a lot of cells. We haven't even got to the pre-production stuff. Oh, hey, here we go. So this is a Lost commercial Man-at-Arms. This is the Lost commercial He-Man. In here, if you check out my YouTube channel, you'll see that I stitched all of these pencils. This is, I think there are, come on, Joe, pull it. I believe there are 15. So they're all the pencils that create the sequence of He-Man springing himself out of the hole that he fell in, the trap, if you will. And it even has the shot list. So this shows a chunk of the Lost commercial in sequence. Pretty cool. All right. Again, I actually stitched those all together, did a quick little thing, and that's on YouTube right now. Here is either Rock On or Stone Dar, and I will openly admit, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my dyslexia that kicks in every once in a while. I cannot for the life of me ever remember which one's Stone Dar, which one's Rock On. And I should, because the colors, right? But this is one of the longest panel cells that I have. and it is of this scene, and it's, you can see here, oh, it says 99, 97. Let's see. This is PP 5420754. This is PP 54507. So this is 5450. This is 207. Okay, so as reference, this is 207. This is 507. This is the matching pencil, but 2 scenes down. Just the way it works. All right, guys, there is a ton more stuff down here. There's panos, there's some other things. Huge Lost commercial, shield cell, Triclops, Man-at-Arms. There's the other battle ram. I told you I had 2 of those. There's a lot of stuff down here. But the title list is also pre-production. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit from some of the stuff that was up on the shelves, and I'm going to show you guys what I recently acquired in the pre-production lot of things from the John Hollis collection. And just as a refresher, what are some of those things? I'll show you that. But first, let me answer a few questions because I missed quite a few. I apologize. Oh, all right. David, back in the early 90s when I worked with the Great Eastern Conventions, dealers had boxes of animation sales for cheap. Now you never see those shows anymore. No. Yes, I agree. Even heck, PowerCon 5-6 years ago, you would be able to go there, and Animation Inc. archive was still around. They were in Cali, and you could be able to pick up stuff. There's a big panel I have of Battle Cat that I picked up there. I carried it on the plane. You were able to pick up they started doing those pano cells where all the characters were walking in different scenes. That same exact piece tripled in price the next year. That's how crazy cells went. It was pretty cool to see. And now they're pretty expensive depending on what you find. You got it, Sean. No problem, bud. When you say vinegar, did people put that on there? Oops. To kill mildew smaller, because I've heard of people using vinegar that kills to kill stinking. No, what they use is they used vinegar to clean the cells, meaning there was art on the cell and they completely erased the cartoon. There was a shortage, money, cost-saving tips, whatever it may have been for that studio. This is Filmation, obviously, but different studios did different reasons, different times. You could use vinegar, a vinegar bath, and it would take the paint and take the ink right off of the cell that whatever's on there. So there are probably millions of animation sequences and drawings and paintings that are gone, lost to history forever, because they reused animation cells, meaning the cellulose. So yeah, that's what they were using the vinegar for, and it degrades the cellulose over time. So you could wind up having, in other words, these Princess of Power ones, that Shadow Weaver that I held up, at some point in time, it could be 5 years, it could be 50 years, it could be 100 years, it's going to deteriorate. It's just going to go away. That you can't stop the process. And if you can stop the process, from what I understand, in order to stop the cell from degrading, you wind up ruining the art. So it's a catch-22. The only lost, oops, I only have lost commercial pencils, but I love it. Yeah, it's, you have the pencil spear. Nice. There's a few of those out there. I know I've got one of them somewhere. I think I have the cell of it too, but there's obviously, for every pencil, there's a cell, right? I totally want the Mattel logo. I know. I tried for a while, but that's going to be a bugger to find. Is that Paul Abdul video cell? If it is, that's worth good money. That is the Paul Abdul cell. Yes, that is a Paula Abdul cell from Opposites Attract with Cool Cat. Wasn't that what his name was? I like that song. Yep, that is definitely a legit animation cell. And as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I picked that up from Animation Inc. archive when I was diving through their archives one time. So I got to go to Animation Inc. Very cool. This is back several years ago, and dive through and just walk through. And it was in shambles at some points. You literally were stepping on cells. You had no choice to try to get to some other parts because things would get shifted and whatever. But yep. And there's a COA. Was this Animation Inc. archive? Yep, that was Animation Inc. archive. Yeah, that's a fun one. Fun one. All right. All right. So let's dig into this. Hey, Joe. Hey, What's up, bud? Germany. Ah, man, I really hope I can get out there. I want to make it this 2024, but I think it might have to be 2025. We're going to see. So, pre-production. That's what I teased you all with at the beginning of, middle of yesterday and to tell you the list. So, let's dive into it. Pre-production. He shared this yesterday. This is from the John Hollis collection. This is a piece where he tried to bring back Guy Gore, the gorilla from Big Jim, and make it into a personal carrier, both the good guy version up top and the bad guy version at the bottom. This is one of my favorite pieces that I acquired working with John and him trying to curate and prepare and unload these cells, because he saved a ton of, I said cells, art, ton of stuff from when he worked at Mattel. And he worked at Mattel specifically during the Eternia period. They brought him in to help with it. He applied and he got in. So this is what you can expect shipping wise from Heritage Auction House. This thing is one of, if not simply the best packed piece I've ever had. It's very valuable stuff, but I got to give them kudos to this, because the way they did this, I don't even know if I can do this right in here. There's 6 layers of cardboard before you even get to the artwork inside, which that's good. You want to keep that stuff safe. So this is just thickness, and then the art is in between all of that. And we're going to start taking a look. What all do we have here? Oh boy, oh boy. As you can see, I have not officially taken this out of the bag until just now. What is this stuff? What is that? Is this paperwork? Okay, that's the paperwork. Okay. Sorry, it's big and awkward, so I don't want to mess up anything, and I don't want to. I think I got them all here. Let me get this out of the way. Okay. Let's just start with the one right on top. Pre-production, and this is actually a master proof. So this is when they're done drawing and sketching and they submit a piece. This is the confidential, do not disclose to unauthorized persons, Mattel. This is the electro-pneumatic siege grapple sprue item. This is that very piece. Now you can see that's slightly larger than the actual scale. There is the Mattel confidential paperwork or logo per se. And here you can start to see some more of the art. It's tough. I'm trying to get it. It's a big piece. So, I mean, this is a decent sized piece. So this here is the final approved. This is what they would have used to actually go and produce and manufacture the final grappling hook. And of course, on the back, certificate of authenticity as well. And what's really cool about that is I was able to help with these COAs. Yes, sir. We worked with John to confirm each piece, what they were, whether they were pencil, whether they were ink, what it could have been. And these are what we got. So when I saw one, oh, haha, master proof, no pun intended. Ha ha, nice. All right, there's more. Now this one is a big guy. They did not have a board, I don't think, big enough to secure this properly. So I think that's why this one is the way this one is. This is, and I remember this piece when I first had my hands on these items. This is near complete one-to-one pencil of what the Eternia Tower would have final been. So, I mean, you can, I'm 6'5", okay? This standing, yes, you got my look how big this thing is. I mean, this thing is easily 2.5, 3 feet tall. So this is pretty close to the final pencil drawing of what Eternia center tower would have been. Freaking epic. And it's huge. Now, this piece actually came with 2 items. So this piece came, and oh boy, this is gonna be tough. I think I can get it right here. And it came with one other piece as well. I'm trying to see if I can pull that out easily here. Nope, that was that one. I misspoke. Hold on. Okay, I misspoke. So the big guy was the big piece, but you also, if you remember when I first got the collection, started working with John on this, we talked about this Gato piece here. This is a reference item. So they found this video game, and if you notice the head, that becomes to look a lot more finished versus where they started out. You can see that this is definitely not the finished version of what we see. This tends to be closer to the finished version of what we see than this. So this is reference art that they used to inspire them to that last big one I was holding up, is more of this shape, and those lines, the geometric lines on it, you can see that transferred over to the finished product. So reference art from a video game actually helped contribute to the center tower of Eternia during the development phases. Nothing related to one another, but inspired and referential art came from this video game. Pretty cool. There's a couple more pieces. This is pretty damn cool. Okay. Rio Blast. Also very relevant due to the current Revolution series that we just all saw. Hopefully all saw. I'm not saying much about it. Obviously, characters aren't revealing too much of anything. But here we can see this is definitely not the way he looks in the finished form. There's no sheriff badge. There's really no mustache. Well, actually, there is in the one half. The one side's got the mustache, or does it? It's hard to tell. There's pencil lines there, so could be viewed as a mustache, maybe not, but this one clearly does not. This is just another stage, another rendering of it, but this one in particular is showing his arm line, right? That's what's important with this drawing, is you can see here where he wants the cut line, where the cut line should be, he feels, versus where it is. That little angle of having the arms here versus this. That's what they're talking about with this drawing and trying to make sure to get that right. Also, the arm is slightly different. His mechanisms, you can see he still is developing the blasters in his wrists. They're not fully developed yet in this image. So, again, that's really freaking cool. So now I have 2 Rio Blast pieces, and both of them are pencils. Both of them are freaking amazing, and they're leading steps towards the finished product. And then the last piece that I have, there's obviously COAs for all the pieces that have come in the collection. So these go along with the Eternia Center Tower pieces. But this piece, I'm very shocked that I was able to acquire this, and I am, because I talked about this during one of the live pieces that we did to help promote the auction through Heritage. I talked about it in one of the lives that I did with John. This piece is, I think it shows the process of creativity and the development of the Snake Tower better than just about anything out there. This is his thumbnails. This is not something that typically would ever fall out in the public. These are just very rough sketches of what could it be. What do you think? Oh, could it be a Medusa, which you can see here? Does it, we've got long struts, okay? All of these subtle different versions of what could the Snake Tower look like, and what are the potentials for it? Fear. I mean, it's just a claw coming up at the bottom. All of these were just a slightly different iteration of what they could be. And it's a mix too. You've got pencils up top and you've got pen down low. There's some names for some of the stuff. This is a really freaking killer piece. And it's a simple piece too, because it's an 8.5 by 11. So he probably just took some copier paper, started doing some doodles, rough. I mean, you can see that the pencil lines just to draw the graph was very rough, but it allowed him to do very quick sketches in very rough concepts to figure out how are we going to do the snake tower and how are we going to make those struts. So another COA in the back, of course. Everything was certified. The packing was amazing. These are real pieces of history, of toy making history, that are just, they're phenomenal. They don't come around very often. The fact that we were, anyone that had an internet connection and a credit card had an opportunity to buy these pieces. And the really cool thing is that there's still another wave of these things out there. How they're going to be distributed, we don't know yet. All right, so just bear with me. More of these type of things are going to be available, but we don't know. It could go to one big lot buyer. It could go to a masses. We don't know yet, but there's still more. And as soon as I know what it's going to happen with the second half of the stuff, I'll make sure everyone knows. So let me check if make sure I didn't miss any questions here. Oh, master proof. Yep, got that. Yowza. Yeah, pretty freaking cool, Sean, right? Fascinating. It's nice that these survived. So has been lost over time. A lot have been lost over time. I actually got John in connection with the Power and Honor Foundation and trying to bring all the stories so that way they have all the stories and it can be, you know, curated with them as well. Rio Blast is definitely one of my favorite motor. He is a freaking cool figure. He actually was actually one of the figures that I almost caused a very big mistake in the toy guidebook that Pixel Dan had put out. We had helped facilitate with a lot of the figures, and a lot of the loose stuff were the figures for my collection. And when doing the editing, I got to help do some book reviews and check balance. And I read the description. It said 9 guns or whatever it was. I'm like, wait. I'm not, what? Not, so I start counting. I didn't notice it. But one of the little guns on his arm piece that came over, there's 2 of them. I didn't realize that one was broken. So this is very late in the, hey, so we scrambled, someone found a Rio Blast proper, and I know for a fact that the Rio Blast in the book is not my Rio Blast, because my Rio Blast I'm looking at happened to have a broken little tip broken off the gun. Stuff you figure out, though. I would only imagine how many times Beastman has changed before the final results. Oh yeah, Beastman went through quite a few different incarnations that we're aware of. Who knows how many more there were, right? Because originally we thought it could be the gorilla from Big Jim, and then there was other versions where it was definitely just more of like the bear, like there's actually a name for it too, but he's a bear with these crazy claws. As a matter of fact, it's one of the things that Mythic Legions has released, part of the Noble Bear. They have a rideable bear now, a bear that can go with these things. And one of the first things that came up because of the Four Horsemen's ties with He-Man and Masters in the past and everything is do this. And I can picture his name. It's like Z's and A's or something like that at the bottom, but it's a bear with wicked spikes and metal pieces on his hands, and it's cool. So he's changed a lot, and he's changed in the cartoons even. But I think Beastman is a key character, especially in Revelation, both of them, and I like it. Anyway, that is what I had today, folks. Pre-production art from John Hollis when he worked at Mattel, tied to Eternia, Rio Blast, just epic pieces. I'm very much looking forward to getting these things framed and properly secured in other areas than just in the box. But for now, we're going to keep them in that box because damn, 6-7 layers of cardboard all around this stuff is going to keep it safe until we're ready to properly secure them. Oh, shoot. There was one more thing. It came yesterday when I was opening up parcels. I mentioned that the cartoon, the Filmation Trap Jaw, was attempted to be delivered on Friday, but they missed me. I wasn't here, whatever. I don't remember. I think no one was home. But check this out. It's the first time I'm seeing the box. It's green. I ordered this at PowerCon. I remember going up and I was like, yes, please. As a matter of fact, Jason Booster was there when I ordered it. So here is the Mondo Filmation version of Trapjaw. And I believe, I honestly don't remember what the differences are. I'm not going to pretend like I do. I don't remember if there's different accessories in here, if it's all still the same accessories, just repainted to the blue motif, which is more of the cartoon version of what we're familiar with. I don't recall 100%. So for those of you that do have this, and I know other people do really good reviews on Mondo figures, so that's why I tend not to mess with it. You know, everyone's got their thing. I just love to share knowledge and have fun and just be me. I'm not really into ripping all them out all the time. So I don't know. I'll listen for you guys to tell me if I'm missing something, but I got the variant. It's here. And I hope you guys did as well. And that's it. That's how we're going to end it. I will say thank you very much for everyone tuning in. It's been a very long time. I was sick for a little bit there, busy with some work stuff. The New Year's, the holidays, it just was a big delay. I do not like being off as long as I was, but I will do my best to keep coming back on. I want to be more regular with it. I want to try to get on once a week with everybody and just say hi at a minimum, because I actually do enjoy that. So if anyone has any questions, comments, feedback, if you want to get a hold of me, you can reach me at MOTU Joe through Facebook. You can find me at Retro Rags Limited. You can also find me at Mockmasters. Pretty easy to track down. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, like I said, just let me know. I'll try to do my best to help you out, and I hope everyone has an awesome weekend. Lastly, go Lions, man! Go Lions! I'm so excited for 6:30 today. I'm so excited. I actually want the Kansas City Detroit game. That's what I want. I don't Baltimore, cool. I'm all fight with it. I want Kansas, Detroit. That's the Super Bowl that I want. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Go Lions, and have a great rest of your weekend. Bye, everybody.